everyone! Are you ready to make this Christmas the most festive yet? Today we're diving into some incredible DIY craft ideas that will add a personal touch to your holiday season. You won't want to miss these easy projects that are perfect for all skill levels. Hi, my name is Katie from Lady Red Crafting. Let's grab some hot cocoa and get crafting. Let's start this craft out with a wood-shaped house from the Dollar Tree. And using my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, I'm going to dry brush over the top of this house piece. I'm not going to completely coat it with paint, but I'm just going to lightly coat it with paint. Once your piece looks like this, I'm going to take a little bit of water and spray it down. And the paint is still wet, and we're just going to add that water to just do a really nice whitewash on our piece. And once this side is completely dry, I am going to flip it over and we're going to work on the back side of this sign as well. I'm going to place this on a paintable surface, and using my Waverly Antique Wax, I'm going to stain the full back side and the sides of this piece of wood. And when I did stain this, I probably didn't sand very well where the sticker was, so you still can see a little bit of where the sticker was on the back side of the sign, but that is not a problem. We're going to cover that. Now, while that is drying, let's go ahead and prep our embellishments. I am going to use these adorable grapevine wreaths that I did get at Hobby Lobby, and they were 50% off for their Christmas special. And using these berries from Dollar Tree, I'm going to wrap them around this little wreath. Now for our next embellishment, I'm using these snowflakes from the Dollar Tree, and these are the ones that you find hanging like a piece of garland at Dollar Tree, and we only need one of them for this project. And using my clippers, I just clip the holes off of the snowflakes so we don't see them anymore. Next, I'm going to go ahead and tape this down to a paintable surface, and using my Waverly chalk paint in the color white, we are going to give this snowflake a little bit of paint. Now, once our snowflake is completely dry, we're going to put this together. So I found these 2 rolls of ribbon at Hobby Lobby, and I fell in love with them. This first ribbon here has a crackling effect, and I've seen similar ribbon at Dollar Tree, but they just have one color to it, and this one had brown and white. And this other one is more of an iridescent green, and it's really, I like it. It's got that gold, but looks very vintage. And I'm going to start out by taking this green ribbon, and I'm going to wrap that around our piece. And once I have the right size for the ribbon to wrap it completely around our piece, I'm going to take that ribbon and use that as a template for my next piece of ribbon here, and I'll go ahead and cut another piece out of this crackling ribbon that we have. And this ribbon is the perfect thickness to cover that imperfection on the back side of our piece. We're going to start by placing the green ribbon in the front and then wrap that around to the back, and we'll cover everything up and it'll meet in the center. And I wanted this to lay pretty flat, so I'm using my Tight Bond glue here, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue this ribbon down. Next, we're going to repeat this same step using the other ribbon. We'll just set that right on top of the green ribbon, flip that around to the back, and using the Tight Bond glue again, we'll go ahead and glue that right in the center. Now here is what it looks like in the front and on the back side. Now, starting on the back side, I am going to grab this little snowflake that we painted earlier. And on the back side of that snowflake, I'm using my hot glue, and we're going to go ahead and glue that right to the center. And this will cover that seam in the ribbons. Now, I felt like the snowflake needed a little bit more, so I had a wood snowflake from the Dollar Tree last year, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue that right to the center, and I'm leaving it the wood color. Next, I found these adorable snowflakes on Amazon, and I have a link for them in my description box below. but I'm going to grab one of these snowflakes and I'm going to put that right in the center of the second snowflake. Once I decided which one I would want to put there, I added a little bit of hot glue, and that covers the hole on that snowflake, and it finishes this side of our project. And I just love how this turns out, but now it's time to complete the front side of this project. Let's flip over our piece. So let's grab that adorable wreath we made earlier, and I'm going to just place this on the center of our project. And once I know where I'd like to place it, I'm using some hot glue and going to attach that right in the front. And one final embellishment, I'm going to attach a cute little bow to the top of our wreath, and I just use a little bit of hot glue and place that ribbon right on top. And wow, I just love how this two-sided sign turns out. This is a perfect little shelf sitter or decor piece that you can place anywhere around your house for Christmas or for winter decor. Now let's vote. Do you like the wreath side better, or do you like the snowflake side? Let me know in the comments below. For this craft, we're starting out with a wood wreath from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to remove the tag on this. And next, I'm going to place this down on a paintable surface, and I'm going to use my Waverly Antique Wax to stain this ring. And to do this, I am going to paint this with the wax using a paintbrush, and then taking a baby wipe, I'm going to wipe everything down. So while we have a moment, I want to tell you all about this playlist I'm hosting this month. Recreation Inspiration. My co-host this month is Loli D Creations, and our guest host is Sunflower Tasha DIYs. My inspiration this month was Angela Jones DIYs. I love how her creativity shines through everything she makes. I have linked the inspiration video, the playlist, and these wonderful hosts in my description box below. Please go check them out and give them some love. Thank you, and back to our video. And once I'm satisfied with the stain, I'm going to just go ahead and leave this set aside to dry. So I found this metal sign from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and take it and put it on a paintable surface. And I'm using some painter's tape to tape it down so it's a little bit easier to paint. Next, I grab my multi-surface folk art paint in the color Licorice, and I'm going to go ahead and paint this joy sign. And this ended up needing 2 coats to cover everything completely. Now going back to our wood ring, I found this adorable ribbon at Hobby Lobby, and it's kind of like a crackling effect. It starts with brown and then there's white over the top. So you see a little bit of brown flecks and a little bit of off-white. I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around my wreath, kind of in the center of the wreath. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I do 2 layers of the ribbon because I want a nice thick ribbon around the side. And then I just unwrap this a little bit so I'm able to go ahead and use my hot glue. And I'll use my little makeup applicator here to just tack down this ribbon. So now that our ribbon is attached, I am going to add some picks. And this pick I got from Walmart, and we're just going to use 2 sprigs off of this pick. Next, I'm just going to position everything on my ribbon, and I'm not going to tack anything down yet because I want to be able to move things around before I decide where I want to put things. And I'm just going to add those picks into that ribbon and leaving enough room in the center there. I'm going to make sure I have room for that joy sign. And since I'm happy where everything's at, I'll just add a little bit of hot glue to make sure everything stays into place. Now let's go ahead and hot glue that joy sign right to the center. Now, once our joy sign is in the center of our piece, I found this sheer black ribbon and I'm going to use it to make a hanger. And once we have our hanger in place, I did grab a little bit more of that ribbon and added a small bow. Then all I had to do was trim a little bit of that ribbon to even everything out, and our piece was complete. I love how this wreath form turns out. It is such a simple wreath, but it is so much fun to make. I think this would be a great wreath that you could do with friends as a group project. And if you're enjoying these projects, please consider hitting that subscribe button below. It really helps my channel grow. Thank you. Jingle Bells is a classic Christmas song, and it is one of my favorite. I found this printable on the internet, and I just printed it out. It's just a piece of sheet music for Jingle Bells. And I'm using this wood piece from the Dollar Tree in the shape of a house. And I'm taking my pencil, and I'm just going to draw the shape around the sheet music. Then I grab a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to trim this piece of sheet music up into the shape of a house. Now, using a tea bag and a little bit of warm water, I am going to take that tea bag and just rub that over the top of our sheet music. And this is one of my favorite techniques that I learned from Sammy over at Unicorn Dust and Design. So thank you, Sammy, for showing this to us. So this technique allows us to just lightly stain or weather our sheet music. Now, while the sheet music is still wet, I am going to just do a little tear mark around the outside edges of this piece of paper. And once you are done with the edges on this sheet music, I'm going to go ahead and lift this up and put this on a sheet pan. And I'm putting this into an oven at 275 degrees for about 10 minutes. Then just go ahead and pull this out of the oven and let it cool. I love these grapevine wreaths, and I am going to use one of them in this project. I did get mine from Hobby Lobby, but I have seen them at other locations as well, at Michael's or at Joann's Fabric. So I'm taking this piece of wired bells, and these wired bells I did get at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap them around our wreath. Now here is what our wreath looks like with all of the bells. I think this is so pretty, and it goes well with Jingle Bells. So I'm using this little house wood shape from the Dollar Tree, and this one was painted black already, and we're just going to leave it the way it is. Next, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Mod Podge, and using my Mod Podge painting brush, and I really like these brushes, so I plug them a lot, but they are amazing. So if you're interested in them, I'll put them in my description box below. But I'm just going to paint the back side of the sheet music so that we'll be able to lay this onto our piece of wood. And once we have that in place, I'm going to use my roller here and just roll everything down to make sure it's nice and smooth. And then to seal everything in, I did take this outside, and using my Rust-Oleum matte clear enamel, I sprayed this down. And now for the finishing touches. Let's go ahead and hot glue that wreath onto the front of our piece. And for our final step, I'm just going to hot glue a little black bow to the top of our wreath. And now our adorable Jingle Bell shelf sitter is ready to display. I just love how this turns out. It is such a fun classic piece. And there you have it. 3 beautiful Christmas crafts to start the season. I hope you enjoyed these fun crafts as much as I did. Be sure to check out our next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, craft more, stress less.